Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to do a little quick recap of the live stream. I was able to join Danny and the other CCC folk on there. It was actually a good time. I enjoyed it very much. It was nice to banter with those guys a bit and check out the new stuff in game. I'm personally pretty excited about some of the PvE. There's aspects that I certainly want to see and feel out a little bit more, but I'll talk about that a little bit as we go through here. It's gonna be easier to go through because I actually was on it, so I know where stuff is. So I'm just gonna kind of zip through this and kind of give you my quick thoughts after the fact. A lot of that stuff I saw sort of live or new, but it was kind of like, it was neat to see some of it for the first time. So I'll digest a little bit here and share some of that with you. So if you're new to the channel, check out that Discord link in the description below. Easiest way to follow along with content. Hammer down like buttons because that's the way we like to do it here. And let's check it out.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so Danny talks about, he gives an outline of some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. And then, you know, obviously it's the four of us here that talk, myself, Misery, and Player One. So I know these guys obviously from program. I've known Player One for quite a while. Really good dude, very helpful, kind, representing a lot of, you know, the Portuguese / South American. Like he's just, I like him. He's good people. So it was a fun sort of talk, and we'll kind of go through what we got here. He was asking us some general questions up front. It was kind of fun. You can see it looks like I have a bunch of my books and stuff in the background, and you can check out some of my video stuff, but that's typically up now. You can't see it because it's my green screen, but anyway. Whoa, there's two of me. Weird. And I'm wearing the same thing. Trippy. So as we went through here, one of the first things that we went through was the Alliance raid. So I'm gonna let this play a little bit. I'm gonna turn down the volume some. So the aspect of this that I'm interested in is, and you can see quite a bit, is how exactly people are going to sort of go through this. There's a minimum number of people for the first level. Shows kind of where you get it. It's just going to be here in the Alliance raid. It's going to be the beta. And you can see right here, there's going to be, this current season, there's 3 bosses. And as you can see, Matter Titans, because one Thanos isn't enough, right? So they're going to throw 2 at you apparently, which is hilarious. And actually, I think this one has it. So it's going to be, you know, some of these bosses that you fight, you kind of go through here. There is one of the things that I noticed was that there is a different, like the time amount. I was shocked how short it is. It's not very long at all. So when I thought this was going to take a bunch of time, it actually might not. And you can go in here. So the first level, the max you can have is 4, and the minimum you can have is 4 on every level, the way I understand it. So you've got to make sure you always have 4 people, but once you use those 4 characters or people or whatever, they're done for the day. So you got to be smart about that. Now, the part I didn't understand is, like, say I use 4 and I beat the first boss or the first level. Does that mean I can go to the second level with that same group because we won? Or am I done? If I'm done, like, okay, this is like 2 minutes a day and it's like nothing. Like, that's not a big deal at all. And you know, it's interesting. It's like beating some bosses, but it's not like what I'd call like a traditional raid where, you know, a traditional raid would be like an hour. But given that they have this every day at the moment, I'm like, okay, I don't want an hour every day. That's way too much. So it just depends how that kind of goes. We'll see. We don't really get into it here to see exactly how it kind of works out. I want to show this whole thing a bit. And so you can see, so there's right now there, and when you come in here, looks like there's 2 Thanoses. So that's it. There's just 2 Thanoses that you're fighting, which is sort of insane. But you go through there, the clock's covered. It just started and it looks like it's 2:22. Now again, this is all subject to change, so we'll see how it shakes out. And there's 50 bars to take down. So like the power levels, all that sort of stuff is going to sort of determine. But if you again, if you beat one level, like if you beat these two Thanos, can you not go to the next one? That's where I'm sort of intrigued. to see where this plays out, and you're going to get like some math behind this. We're going to let this play a little bit. But I like the idea that it's hard. I like the idea that I'm using, you know, multiple people of my alliance. It just depends. The success of this is going to depend like how much of it is actually able to do a day. Like if the game is going to ask me and my alliance to each make sure we have 3 to 4 characters built up to do this, I don't know. I just don't know. You know, between the specialization, the fodder, like all of the things, and I was even asked this on the live stream, was, can I, like, what's my squad? And I've said this in my videos, and I said it on the live stream. I'm like, well, I have one character right now. Like, I don't really have a squad, and like, and it's because I don't have enough fodder. So that's one of the things that I do worry about a little bit. You know, with this, how this goes. But at the same time, like I said, I don't want this to be super hard. Now, I had some conversations with folks after. They're like, well, you know, they're clearly leaning into more bigger rosters. This is an MMO. I don't want to build a full roster of alts. And I tend to agree. MMOs are traditionally not meant to be like a hero collector. So let me pick my character that I want. Let me play that character that I want. If I choose to build an alt later, then I will, you know, and it's like, I think one of my buddies, Halfson, he was talking about a different game he played, and he was saying, he's like, he was known for alts, but he didn't make his first one until like a year into it. So it's just very interesting where that sort of stuff happens. So you can see I actually disconnected from this a couple times. It was sort of weird. Not sure exactly why that happened, but you know, I was able to watch some of it. But so, but I'm interested in this. Like, I think a lot of this is going to depend on what those specific dynamics are like. Additionally, like what the rewards are. It's a beta, you know, so we're certainly testing this and seeing what it's like. We'll see what that shakes out to be. And, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. As you can see, that was an easy timeout there. So it's kind of like, all right, now we went through it. You can see the points earned, damage received based on damage and damage received. So there's some correlation there. I don't know if that's going to be those same conversion rates as we eventually get, but we got 32% through that. And that's going to stay for the next group to go in there. Again, the point that I want to know is, and you can see they're level 90 here. So, you know, maybe that's something to note as well. It's like, all right, you got level 90 in there. You can throw a couple, you know, 4 alts of somebody in for that first level and get through it. That might be fine. I don't know. But that's the biggest thing of this. This is the thing that I'm probably most excited about. I joked on stream that there was clearly a bug here. Not sure what happened, but somehow there was a glitch in the matrix where my damage was short by 20k there. But you can see, like, so in 2 minutes that was, you know, 600k, depending how much defense they have, all that kind of thing. You know, that's not a lot of damage in 2 minutes. Like, and when my alliance runs in Dark Zone, you know, we've got people putting up 70, 80, 100 mil in 30 seconds. So we'll see if the same conversion happens there, and that's on the 120 bosses. So, you know, I don't know what the stats are going to be in the Alliance Raid versus Dark Zone, but it's going to ramp up as you go, and that's going to be the type of thing where it's going to be important. If this was 30% and we did, you know, what is that? 1.2, 1.6, 1.8 mil, right? We got 1.8 mil times, let's just say 3 to keep it simple. So that's like a 6 million bosses in the first level. That's not hard. Like 6 million, but I mean, again, if it's similar to Dark Zone. So that, I mean, we'll see. It depends. Plan accordingly with this. Be smart about what the stats are in there. If this is right, you know, this is how you want to plan your Alliance Raid, the first step, you know, and kind of go from there. And then, you know, you can see that there's other bosses as you go through the additional levels. So we'll rewind that for a second. That was a quick sort of snap there that I didn't see during the live stream, but Let's get back on this for just 1 second. So you can see clear level 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously we had done that. There's some gold in there. There's some, I'm not sure what this is. I don't remember that. That might be some alliance gold, which my alliance is currently capped on, so they need to increase that. But again, those are subject to change. I saw a draw ticket supply, so that's good. You know, more gold in there. And this is showing another boss fight. You know, 2 minutes and 30 seconds is the start for it. And yeah, I mean, it's just gonna sort of, oh, I'm joking about the damage bug there where Misery had more damage than me. So that was the part about this stream that I really enjoyed. So we continue to sort of go through the alliance right here. We banter back and forth quite a bit, which was fun. And then we had Moon Knight up here, where he just showed a picture. That's all we saw. I actually asked, you know, if we knew how many moon marks would set to make the blind work. There wasn't a specific answer that we talked about on there, but you know, it was sort of a shout to the devs where I was saying, like, I would highly recommend that Moon Knight basically blind anybody he gets his shurikens on, because if he doesn't, if like the blind doesn't work, nobody is going to use him. They're gonna find out like these blinds never land and forget about it. Like, it's just like, unless his damage is insane through the roof, it's just not gonna be anything that I think people are gonna be all that excited about. So we went through that a little bit, and then of course there was this sparring. We had Misery versus Danny in here. It was a close match. Misery pulled it out at the end. I think there's a lot of opportunity for this. Player one was talking about like naked tournaments, which I love. I think it's a great idea where you're not allowed technically to go in with any of your gear cards or etc. It's all skill based, which it's almost like, it's like a PvP Spec Ops mix where it's just pure skill. And you know, I'd be curious to see how many hits it takes to get through that. But I love the idea of that, you know, naked, and I love the idea with that without you know, naked and with all your gear and stuff. So, but just knowing like it might be a situation where you're gonna get a bad matchup where you're 800k and you're facing a 1.6 or 1.8 million. It's gonna be a hard fight. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this for test purposes as well. It's a great thing to be added. Danny joked about how he was talking about this a long time ago. And I do remember it, and it was something that I thought like he should definitely sort of bring in. So the next part, and this is probably the part that most people are going to talk about, was the new invasion. These are the badges. So there's 5 substats that you get above, which is quite a bit. So it's like, I think it's the 2 and the 3. And then the set bonuses here. So the set bonuses on this are attack. You get attack plus attack, but you lose your cooldown. So it's bad for cooldown, but good for attack. Excuse me. Now in the later sets, if you get all the full set up to, you know, a +5, it's in a 6 set, it's 12.5% attack, and you lose 12% decrease. It's pretty easy to get 12% attack through cores. It's not so easy to get that amount of cooldown. Cooldown is one of the most important stats in the game. Danny was asking about certain characters about this. I frankly, I don't know, just thinking about this some, I'm not sure this badge is gonna be well received by a lot of players. I think it depends how the stats roll. You know, I just, cooldown is so hard to get and attack is not. Now, if this was plus cooldown decrease and you lose attack, okay. Now, like that, you're gonna do well with that. I would, if I was the devs, I would have flipped those. I would have had it so people can get cooldown, but you lose attack. That's just me. But hey, what are you gonna do? Right? So I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks about this. I'm not gonna fully judge until I see it, but losing that much cooldown is definitely going to be a problem for me, given that I think the attack cores are something that aren't really all that, you know, exciting. And then they went through the transmute, the relay transmute. You can see here again, currently as it's shown, you can relay transmute, where this is going to just kind of go through and pick all the different, you know, you select the one you want, and then you can relay transmute, and it's just going to kind of cycle through there. You can see it just boom, it goes, boom, it goes. Okay, and then it's like it was there. Now that it went through 3 times. Like, no big deal. Now, what happens if you want to get something different and it just keeps going? I don't know. I mean, that could be very difficult. I like that the relay's on there. I like that it's staying. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. You know, I don't know if that was the same set or not. I don't know if that was in a loop or not. I didn't watch it close enough. But either way, I like that you have the option to still just do it one at a time if you want. And then we sort of talk back and forth quite a bit. And we were talking about, you know, all sorts of different things. You know, new character coming in, who we thought it was, what we thought of the CCC, just where we're at. And, you know, the new character situation, man, they're really playing with us a bit. I personally, you know, I said Scarlet, I joked with Hellcow. You know, I personally would love, you know, I think Scarlet Witch would actually be really cool. Right now we're talking about which characters are red from the Marvel Universe. I mean, it's going to be hard. I don't know if Deadpool is going to be the one or not. He feels a little bit too obvious. And I mean, I don't know. Janny trolled us a bit saying he's going to let us know next time on who that character is. So we didn't get any information there. But I'm excited to see how this patch ends up. I don't love the leaning into like squads more and more. I'm not going to lie. But that's because of the fodder issue. I think that they need to come up with more fodder. And I mentioned that on stream or on this live stream. You know, when it was asked about it, I thought it was kind of interesting. So, you know, that's the quick recap of it. It kind of went through that stuff. It was awesome. I mean, I highly encourage you to watch it. You know, like we had some fun together. We cracked some jokes. You know, that's the type of thing that I enjoy with doing these is you just have a good time where you're just sort of, you know, shooting the breeze. And it was easy to do it with all these guys so that we can just kind of banter back and forth and have a good time. And it was nice. Like it was just sort of a loose outline and we just talked a bit and, you know, it was great. So I want to thank them again for having myself personally on it. And then for anybody who didn't catch it, you know, hopefully this was a good catch up for you. If you did catch it, love the feedback from you as well. And let me know what you think about the stuff in game, you know, where that kind of landed, and we'll go from there. So like I mentioned earlier, Discord link in the description below. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, all that sort of thing. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.